I want you to imagine your life in a year from now. It's the end of 2024. You've actually reached all of the goals that you set in January. You're in a completely different place in every aspect of your life, finally breaking the cycle of setting New Year's resolutions every year and never actually getting around to them. What if I told you that this is possible for you? You can achieve everything that you want this year with a little preparation and planning ahead. In this video, I'm going to take you through my full day of setting my goals for 2024. I'll be showing you how I break these goals down into monthly, weekly, and daily action items that make these massive goals so much more attainable. And I'll be giving you all of the action steps that you need to do this for yourself too, and make 2024 the year that you actually achieve all of your goals. It is the day after Christmas, which means that it is time to start planning for the new year. New Year's is next weekend, and I am so excited for just like a fresh start. Not that this year was bad at all. This is one of the best years of my entire life. I just want to take that momentum and catapult it forward. So I have a whole day set up to set myself up for success in doing it, and I want to take you guys through it with me. If you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. I am Caroline. I'm a registered dietitian. I love talking about all things food, fitness, wellness, and helping you become the healthiest and hottest version of yourself. So today I'm going to take you through my day as I plan out how I'm going to absolutely crush 2024 and how you can reach all of your goals in 2024 too. Since it is the day after Christmas though, we're having a little bit of a hard time getting into the day. It still feels like a weekend, but it's a Tuesday, which is kind of weird. So we're gonna head off to Dutch Bros, get a coffee, and then come back and get it started. Bag is secured. I got a pump of cupcake, which I'm really excited to try. Chad, what'd you
You're
get?
a fucking pump of cupcake. You know that? You are literally just a fat pump of cupcake. Just squeeze it out. Just liquid cupcake. That is you.
I feel so self-actualized right now. That's all that I've ever wanted in
I
life.
have a decaf Americano with 2 pumps of white chocolate.
Incredible. I got almond milk. He's a black coffee guy.
Alright, cupcake.
It is time to set some goals, which means that we are going to step number 1, which is not setting goals. It is actually reflecting. I have my journal here that I started at the beginning of last year, and reading through this, oh my gosh, does my life look so much different than when I started the beginning of last year. Whenever you're setting goals, I believe that it's so important to reflect on what you've done in the past, the goals that you set from last year, what you accomplished, what you left on the table. As a whole, I believe that people are good at setting goals, but we're not as great about reflecting on them and actually holding ourselves accountable to reach them. So looking back at this journal, it is a very honest look at what I was able to do in a year and also what I didn't end up pursuing due to a change in priorities or direction, or what I simply didn't accomplish that I really wanted to that year. I'm going to take some time and reflect over this last year. I'm also going to take some time and go through my camera roll to get a little nostalgic to see what actually happened last year and celebrate all that did happen. But we can't just celebrate, we have to be honest with ourselves, and that's where the journaling comes in. Now that we've taken some time and reflected on this last year, gotten brutally honest with ourselves, it's time to move into step 2, which is part 1 of goal setting. And this is where we're going to be setting our big overarching goals of the year. We just did this last week for our Beyond Built Transformation Challenge. We just closed enrollment, but we start on January 1st. And it's basically just a 6-month window where you go all in on yourself and attack it relentlessly. I'm so excited to get to be part of the challenge this year and to get to attack my goals with a community of people that are also so excited to just better themselves every day. That's how I felt during prep last year. So I'm excited to approach that in a new way this year. So when you're setting your big overarching goals for the year, I find that it helps to break it out into categories, and this is a new planner that I found. If you guys know Grace Beverly, she was an OG Gymshark athlete back in the day, and she was one of the first that I ever followed, but I loved how she also shared more about her life in school, because I was also super big into school and everyone was dropping out at the time, and she was also really big into business and productivity, and she came out with this productivity planner. When I saw that she did, I was like,
yes, absolutely.
I am sold, and I love how this planner breaks everything out and breaks it down. I'm going to start with the yearly goals tab, and I'm going to create some goals for 2024. I already started one, but I don't want to divulge all of my goals just yet. I do want to share a couple of them with you guys, particularly health related and then also personal development, some career business ones. When you do go and set your big overarching goals for the year, I recommend breaking them up into different sectors of what those goals could be. Otherwise, you could end up with a laundry list of all of these goals that you want to achieve, and they could be all geared towards one aspect of your life, like your career or your health. But there are so many different areas of our lives that we can work on ourselves. So I recommend splitting it up into some different categories. This planner that I'm using already came with 6 different categories that you can choose from, and I'm going to keep all of them except for the attitude and mindset, because I believe that that ties into personal development. I also love that this planner keeps the goals in front of me every single day, because a lot of times people, including myself, get good at setting goals and we don't often reflect and look back on what those goals were and if we're actually on track to be reaching them. So having this in front of my face every single day reminds me of the bigger goal that I'm working towards every day and the steps that I need to be doing every day in order to get there. So some of my goals are going to include posting 1 YouTube video a week. Since I started my YouTube channel this year, I've only been really consistent with it for a couple of months and I'm absolutely loving it, so I want to keep that up. A lot of my goals are going to be health related this year as well. I feel like last year was kind of a health and fitness focused year with prep, but this year I want to focus on my internal health and how well I can actually take care of myself, so we're pivoting in a completely different direction. But I'm really excited for the challenge. So my health related goals this year are to get a regular ovulatory menstrual cycle back, find a cardio-based activity that I enjoy doing because cardiovascular health is so important, get Hashimoto's into remission, and take a year away from dieting. This is going to be a massively uncomfortable year for me in terms of health and fitness because I have never had a super hard physique goal that I was chasing, and in order to get my hormones back where they need to be and to get Hashimoto's into remission, I need to operate in a way that's a lot softer than a way that I approached life before. So I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with it, but I'm really excited to tap into that aspect of my life that I haven't before. So those are just a couple of the goals that I've set for the year. I'm going to keep them to 3 to 5 max per category. I do recommend keeping the list a little bit shorter so that you can stay on track and focused with your big overarching goals. If you've accomplished one, you can always go back and add another, but I find that sometimes we get a little too ambitious and we think that we can do 17,000 things all at once, and this spreads our focus and our actions way too thin, so we never actually end up accomplishing what we want to. Step number 3 is when you're going to make your vision board. This step is splitting our goal setting steps because you're already in this big, lofty state of mind with setting your big goals for the year, and now we want to create that feeling and keep tapping into that. So this is where we go into Canva and we're going to create our vision board. When creating a vision board, I want you to pick images of things that you want to create more of in your life and to create the energy that you want this year to have. A lot of the images on my vision board actually include beauty-related things like clothes or nails or jewelry, because over the last few months I've made an effort to start actually getting ready every morning and start adding accessories to my outfits and putting my makeup on. So I want to create more of that this year and stepping away from the full glam lash look and into more of a clean, minimalistic makeup glowy look. I also included some outfit examples because I've been revamping my wardrobe. For fitness goals, I included some women that look absolutely incredible with some big old juicy delts and glutes because that's also something I want to create, as well as an image of yoga because this is a year that I do need to pull back and slow down to get my internal health under control. A vision board for myself would not be complete if I didn't include pictures of food and nutrition because that's what I absolutely love in life. So a lot of the pictures that I chose here show how I'm changing my diet to support my health-related goals and needs. I also like to include a couple of motivational quotes that also just capture the vibe of what you're trying to create in this next year. The overarching theme that I'm trying to capture here is strong, confident, elegant, healthy from the inside out, glowing, radiant, self-actualized, embodied woman. Once you've created your vision board, I want you to take it and put it somewhere that you're going to see it every single day. So for me, I'm setting it as the background of my laptop, and I'm also going to be putting it into my planner. So every time I open up my planner, which is quite often during the day, and my laptop as well, I will see my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish every single day. All that's left is step 4 and step 5. Step 4 is goal setting part 2. Now that we've set our big goals and we've gotten the vision board down and we've created that energy that we want next year, we're taking those big goals and we're going to break it down into bite-sized chunks so that we can actually take daily steps to achieve them. Whatever your big goal is, I want you to take that in your brain. For example, you could say, I want 5,000 followers on Instagram. What are the monthly, weekly, and daily things that need to happen in order to get you there? Let's take it by the year, which is 5,000 new followers, and break it down by the month. That would then be posting X amount of times per month. If you post 3 times a week, that would be 12-ish times a week. What needs to happen every single week in order for that to happen? You need to be posting 3 times a week. What needs to happen daily? You either need to be thinking of a caption, thinking of a post idea, consuming content to get ideas. There's so many things that we can be doing on the day-to-day to reach this big overarching goal. While yes, big goals are awesome and they're super exciting, they can also be super overwhelming if we don't have the everyday structure and tasks that are going to set us up for success in order to achieve them. So let's take one of my goals, for example. Please hold, Bean is at the door. One of my goals for 2024 is to get a regular ovulatory menstrual cycle back. So what does that look like for me on the day-to-day? That means getting 8 hours of sleep every single night. That means not pushing past a 3 to 4 RIR in my training sessions. That means keeping my steps around like 8 to 10K. That means keeping my fats high, getting in enough calories. There are so many things that I can be doing every single day in order to get to this big goal that seems almost out of reach at times. This is ultimately how we're going to be successful in achieving that, because every single day we know that we're showing up and we're doing what we need to do in the micro so that we can achieve the macro. The way that you do this is a process called reverse engineering. Instead of starting from the starting line and working your way to the finish line, you start with your end result and think about what needs to happen in order to get you there. And then you just work your way backwards. And I find that this way makes a lot more sense so that you have action steps that you can easily implement. It also gives you a good starting place of knowing where your big goal is. So if you need to go and look things up and do research, you can find examples or how-tos in order to get there. This planner that I got is also really cool because it has a section that breaks up my monthly goals as well as my weekly planning. So we start yearly, break it into monthly, and then break it into daily. If you don't have a planner that you're working through, you could easily do this in Google Documents or an Excel sheet. Whatever you choose to use, just make sure that it's in front of you often so that you can reflect on it and hold yourself accountable. Which brings me to my last tip, number 5, accountability. What doesn't get tracked doesn't get measured. And if we're not tracking our daily habits or our daily actions, we're not actually going to be able to track how we're progressing towards our goal. We're not going to be able to measure our effort. And our brain does this thing where we say we're trying to do something or we're working on achieving something, and the ing form of the verb, the doing form of the verb, is on the try or the working. It's not actually on the action verb of the doing and making it happen. So our brain already thinks that it happened. So once you've set all of these goals, you've reverse engineered and you figured out what you need to do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly in order to get you to where you want to be for the year. Now we set up forms of accountability so that we can hold ourselves accountable. So what this looks like on the daily is checking off your tasks. I am type A. I love a good to-do list. It happens in my planner. You can do it in your planner, digital, physical. I even do it in my notes app on my phone. I'm gonna drop a couple of examples of some good planners below if you're looking for a new one. On whatever you're using for your daily tracking, make sure that you're including every aspect of your goal setting that you had for the year. So what are you doing personally? What are you doing physically? What are you doing with your nutrition? What are you doing with your finances, your career, all of the things? Because remember, what does not get tracked doesn't get measured. Other things that I would include besides just the planner and the to-do list would be a tracker for your fitness and your nutrition, whether you have an app or you have an Excel sheet, making sure that you're tracking all of your data so that you're staying on track towards your goals in that regard, and being super detail oriented is going to help you more accurately track your progress. Another one that I recommend having is a budget sheet. The way that I budget is super simple to me. I don't break up expenses by categories. I have whatever I have coming in for the month, my fixed expenses, and then whatever I have left for the month is just however I allocate it. Some months I'll want to buy an outfit, some months I'll want to get my nails done, so I don't like being chained to all the different categories. If you guys want an example of a document that I use, I will also link that below. I've been using this document since 2019 and I don't go over my budget, so it's doing its job. Now the weekly and monthly reflection is where I feel that we kind of fall short when we goal set. We love to tick off our boxes at the end of the day, but a lot of times we don't take a step back at the end of the week and see if our daily actions actually accumulated to what we wanted to accomplish for the week, which is then putting us on track for the month and on track for the year. So with the weekly goals that you've set, what kind of weekly reflection reflection do you also have in place? Go back and look at those daily tasks that you completed. What got done? What didn't get done? What should have gotten done? How can I improve next week? If we're not looking back at our behaviors previously, we don't know how to improve going forward in order to get us closer to our goals and to achieve more in the future. For your fitness and nutrition goals, I recommend doing a weekly check-in with yourself if you don't already have a coach. So taking your progress photos, going over all of your biofeedback, how did I sleep? How was my digestion? Taking all of that into account to get a good look at how the week went so that you can make any sort of adjustments going forward. And now the monthly reflection. Again, this needs to go hand in hand with your monthly goals. So take a deep dive of your planner or whatever you are using to keep track of your daily and your weekly tasks. Did you get everything that you needed to get done in this month? Was it easy? Can you add something next month? Did something that was a task now become a habit for you? Or did you fall short? That's also holding yourself accountable to do better next month and having actionable steps on how you can improve next month. At the end of the month, this is a big time to review on numbers and finances and budgeting. And this is a more all-encompassing view because this is typically like a paycheck to paycheck cycle. So I don't know about you guys, but I love a good to-do list. And now that I have all of these things laid out in front of me, it makes me even more excited to dive into them and absolutely attack 2024 for everything that it's gonna bring. I just turned 25 2 weeks ago, so I'm coining this year my quarter life glow up. I just turned 25 2 weeks ago, and I'm calling this year my quarter life glow up, and this is the exact way that I want to spend it. I hope that you guys got some actionable steps and takeaways so that you can also set and actually reach all of your goals in 2024. And I would love for you to comment one of them below so that we can hold each other accountable to reach them. If you guys enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate if you dropped a like and you would hit the subscribe button because it is one of my goals this year to upload one YouTube video every week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.